We're on.
We're on. Hey, DB, episode 34. We're about to do this back when some sort of traction and some action.
Traction in action.
Over my left shoulder, we got some new swag, but old swag, vintage.
New old swag.
I talked to my parents and my grandparents when I was used to be a young servant, if you will, to fetch a beer downstairs. I remember they had some beer swag, and I was looking for a Ham's watch, but came across this vintage Coors over my left shoulder. So
go ahead.
Adding that to the mix.
So we're basically you're having me rebuild the silver stamp one prop at a time.
That's
here
right.
In my house.
That's right. Yes.
In our desert trailer in the middle of nowhere.
He's got Keller swatches. Things are changing.
Yeah, we're looking up, kids.
Peyton. So in this episode, we're getting back on the horse here. We're going to talk Sphere news. We're going to talk a massive new mine opening in northern Nevada. We're going to talk Rest in Peace Champagne's Cafe. We're going to talk Boulder City, who made the cover of the the Las Vegas Weekly this week. Harry Reid numbers from last year. My visit to the Clark County Commissioner's office. California population. Palms Cabana specials are coming back from locals. Some dire news with Mexican mayhem. Scott Galloway kind of coming up in the circles more. The State of the Union briefly last night, and we're going to end on a positive note with USA men's and women's hockey gold.
I don't know if it's going to be positive, coming from me, Chris.
Well,
we'll see.
Yeah. Somebody read the comments.
I'm a ray of sunshine today, folks.
It's slightly not on full wit, but we're going to drink they're calling it Nighthawk. It's a black lager, or as they say in German, a Schwarzbier, from Integrin out in Cali. I think Baldwin Park, so they brew in a German style. I just grabbed this on the way over, so Darren's mad at me, slightly delayed. He's got life and adulting to do later, and I just have to edit and shmed it. So
all right, so
we'll be right back. Episode 34, Sip, Socialize, Shine.
Welcome to the spot where the good times flow. Chris and Darren behind the bar, putting on a show in Vegas where the sun shines bright and the stories unfold. Grab a pint, pull up a chair, let the good times roll. Sip, socialize, shine, that's the motto we live.
All right, episode 34, we're back with the main segment. We're going to pop open an Integrin beer. Day drinkers. Haven't had this flavor before, but have had some other styles from this brewery out of,
Cheers.
I believe, Baldwin Park, California.
Where's Baldwin Park?
That's a good question.
Not bad.
It is a Schwarzbier.
It reminds me of you know what? The taste I get right there was like when I was a kid and the first time I grabbed my dad's beer, he used to drink Lowenbrow.
Yeah.
And I kind of had that hit. Yes, we do have a Lowenbrow sign, but it's not hanging up right now.
As we said in the introduction segment, we're going to slowly but surely transition this into our own little silver stamp.
But isn't that Lowenbrow-esque? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, obviously these guys brew in the German style, so it's well within their wheelhouse of what they're doing.
What exactly is Lowenbrow? Was it? It was a German style beer?
Yeah, it's one of the big, Löwenbräu, as they say, is one of the big 6 breweries in Munich, but it's not as well distributed over here because they kind of lost their nomenclature with how it became perceived as a lesser beer over here, and even though it's traditionally in Germany.
And when was the last time you had a Lowenbräu?
Man, that's a funny question you ask, because I thought at one point Nevada Beverage was distributing it out here, but they stopped it. It's probably been 10 years.
I think the kids over here have no idea what a Lowenbräu is, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's when you misshave your eyebrow, and one's lower than the other. Yeah, if you're mansplaining or manscaping, So.
I remember the logo is like a tiger, like
the fighting lion.
Yeah,
or
half of the royal crest, basically. They're the unicorn and the lion, right?
Yes. So as we entrance ourselves into almost March, we're here at the end of February. News at the Sphere starting stuff to roll. They announced a couple days ago that there will be their first boxing battle in September with Mayweather and Pacquiao.
Oh, they're doing that at the Sphere?
Yeah,
oh, I didn't know that.
Mayweather coming out of retirement, supposedly because his gambling habit has cost him quite a bit of money and he needs some more cash.
Oh,
and then Pacquiao for the pride, I guess.
How old is he, 42?
I mean, he's well into his 40s, right? Both of them are. I think Pacquiao's closer to 50.
Yeah, I could go into a long rant, and I'll make it short. But these things where these people keep going and going and going. I guess we're living longer, so I guess whatever. But like at the Sphere of the Eagles, so like how many tours are they going to do? How long are they going to keep doing?
Yeah.
Literally, like the Grateful Dead did it until they died.
Until Bob Weir died.
Yeah, I'm like, Jesus Christ. But I guess the desire to keep moving and working is real, and people keep paying, so whatever.
Yeah. How do you say Bob Weir's name past tense?
Bob
Weird. Bob Weird.
Bob Weird.
Weird.
Bob Ben.
And then just this morning, I know you're like kind of slagging off your hangover, but Metallica announced dates for a Sphere residency in October of this year.
Oh,
4 weekends.
You know what's funny? I was just talking about that.
4 weekends, 8 dates now secured. So I'm sure if tickets haven't gone on sale already, they'll be going on sale very quickly.
It's crazy. Like live long enough to see Metallica do a residency. One of the very first concert I ever went to was Metallica Master of Puppets, the original lineup.
Okay.
Opened for Ozzy Osbourne.
Really?
Yeah.
There's
1986, I think it was, or 85.
That's some heavyweights.
I lied to my mom, said I was going to the movies because I wasn't allowed to go downtown. Took the bus all the way downtown and went to the concert.
The things we do for youth.
Got in line at I think it was a Rite Aid or something like that, or Payless drugstore, and stood in line in the morning and got tickets.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yep. Sure. We used to have a place in Kansas City. It's Peaches Records and LPs, so that we would go to the Ticketmaster outlet there.
Yeah.
And then ultimately consumed by Blockbuster when the franchising first started happening. Not a huge Metallica guy myself. I mean, I can name all the characters that be in the band. What's your favorite Metallica song?
I mean, the first time I ever listened to him was Ride the Lightning. So probably one of those songs.
Okay.
Whiplash, maybe. I don't know. It's been a long time. You know what? I'm super mellow in my old age, so like I don't like listen to aggressive music. I like just chill.
Yeah.
I'm more of a parrot head nowadays.
I was at home plate the other night, and I think Mac Lethal had on. So he likes to play like the reggae and the chill stuff. And after a long day at work, that's okay. Just kind of background ambient noise, but they do have the touch tones. And somebody went heavy and hard on a couple tracks, and he's like, who hates their father? It's like, I agreed. Because we just completely changed the mood of the room on those 2 songs.
That's funny.
But yeah, Metallica, and then I believe Tool is in talks, haven't officially announced yet, but they're trying to coincide with a possible 2027 record release and then a residency at the Sphere.
Every time somebody brings up that band, I want to yell, "You're a Tool!"
That's right. Yeah. If you were a Tool, I'd be a hammer. So we keep hammering away here.
Yeah,
hammering.
I've seen him in action. Let me tell you, the hammer does fall.
It does. Fell late last night. Kind of scrolling the news too. You have your Tesla, which has a lithium battery.
Yeah.
They're opening a brand new mine in Esmeralda County.
Lithium mine.
Yeah, Thacker Pass, which will significantly improve the cultivating, if you will, of the minerals that they need to make the lithium batteries in this country, because we've been slagging behind with Australia, China, and Chile.
Well, it's the processing of these things, these rare earth minerals mostly that cost a lot of the money.
Yeah.
But that particular area has more lithium than we can use for the whole planet, I guess.
Right. And
So
just another area of like Nevada and not necessarily Las Vegas, but the state, like looking into new sources of revenue.
I do know there was a dispute because it's on native land or something like that. So they're probably paying them a good chunk of it.
Yes, which which is an ancient burial for their people from a fight with the U.S. Army in the middle 1800s.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we did a lot of fun stuff back in the day.
I'm sure that'll be another native casino or something. Here.
Up there.
Yeah. You never know.
Well, the rise and fall of boomtowns, so it'll rise quickly. And man, to own some land up there, that you could build some like rental houses up there would be a good investment. But
you think we pass a bill that we're no longer the silver state, but rather the lithium state?
Well, I like the thought of that. Like Nirvana, lithium.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point.
Hey,
Speaking of that, you see Former Nirvana member Dave Grohl with his current iteration of Foo Fighters doing some EP drops and new releases over in Ireland this week, playing small venues.
I did see that.
A church, I think, in Dingle. They played a theater in Dublin last night, and I believe they popped over to the UK today, if my Fousey news tells me correctly.
Fousey News, is that a thing?
It's a group I follow on Facebook, and they're
yeah?
So it's propagated pretty quickly.
I still haven't seen Foo Fighters.
I can't say the same.
Yeah, well, you need to.
Sad news. Back to the drinking culture before we go topical world stuff. Champagne Cafe on Maryland Parkway, opened in 1966, closed its doors Monday morning.
Did you actually go?
I went a few weeks ago. Had a friend named Ben in town. And as we developed this whole idea of doing curated pub crawls, that was definitely going to be one of the ones on the on the dive bar. It was, open in 66, has a lot of stories, has a lot of folklore. You just walk in there and it's like a timestamp of a day gone by in Las Vegas. And it was quintessentially like Vegas kitsch. And that's what you appreciated it for.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Maryland Parkway is going through major road construction. It's been under construction for a solid year. It's going to be at least another year. I talked to the owner.
Aren't they turning that area into like little Filipino? They're making
so.
like a little ethnic area.
I think so. So like the traffic, I talked to the owner a few weeks ago. The traffic has just fundamentally dropped, the visitation, and then he was also talking about just, cost of running a business, and his insurance had gone up like 3 times the amount of what it once was. So they had the tick up post-pandemic, and then that's all but shuttered. And he's like,
well, they had that. Didn't what's his name do the bar rescue thing there?
Taffer twice.
Oh, twice.
Twice, yeah.
It just goes to show you just can't rescue some things.
Johnny T.
Some things you just need to let them die. My thoughts on that. I went there a couple times, and whatever. It's it is what it is. There's so many venues in Vegas that have come and gone. Like, I bring up the Venetian, which was an Italian restaurant where Born and Raised is now, and everybody loves Born and Raised. Don't get me wrong, it's a great place. But Venetian had, way more Vegas kitsch. It was a phenomenal place, open 24 hours a day. It was a Rat Pack hangout back in the day. Nobody remembers it. So
I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. Remember for a hot second between that and it was Herbs and Rye now, not Born.
The thing about Vegas is that Vegas, people say it doesn't have any culture, but what it has in spades is pop culture. And you can recreate the Champagne Lounge anywhere,
You can.
It won't have the history.
But you just walked in and from you've been to Huntridge with me.
Yeah.
And we had a great talk with Raul about that the other day, about the future stuff in June. But it's just like one of those old meat locker doors for the cooler too. Can you replicate that? Absolutely. Will they do that?
You could literally, if somebody was smart, they would buy the guts, put it in storage, and rebuild it on Main Street.
Supposedly he couldn't get it sold in time to keep it open, but there are 5 other entities that want to purchase it and keep it intact. So we shall see.
I'm sure.
But I would imagine that those 5 entities would not open it or reopen it until Maryland Parkway's done, because you would just cut your nose off to spite your face.
Every place that I've ever worked is gone now, except for McMullen's is the only place still standing, and I knock on wood, I think McMullen's has a long road ahead of it, but I just don't have nostalgia for the past. Like upwards, onwards, forward.
That beeped at you.
No, it's good.
Okay. Yeah, and then we popped in there last night, but man, that road construction on Tropicana and Cameron there too. I'm sure it's a pain in the bum. Yeah, pain in the patootie for our friends that work there. Perusing.
The Hot Rocky Horror Picture Show, remember?
What's that?
The Rocky Horror Picture Show, Meatloaf.
Oh, yeah.
Hot patootie, rest my soul. I want to feel that rock and roll. Ooh.
Boy, one word where it triggers in the memory bank.
I know, isn't it weird?
You were so welcome visitation viewership.
I would really like to have some meatloaf. Not that meatloaf, but the kind that you make, maybe Costco's.
Perhaps.
Have you had their meatloaf?
No, but funny enough, when I was looking at the menu last night, because they did have the curry, they do have the fall into winter menu with the meatloaf on it. We could have had that indeed.
Transitioning from
I would do anything
for love. Somebody said I looked like him back in the day, and they really wanted me to do karaoke to Paradise Under the Dashboard Light. And I think, hey, maybe someday. Speaking of meatloaf, what was the Irish whiskey that we drank with Raw?
That was the Redbreast. What was it? God damn it!
Starts with an M.
Moscato? No. It's in the Iberian series from Spain. Moscato?
Muscat? No.
Moscato?
No.
Yeah.
What's the wine? I'm
We should edit this. We're horrible. We apologize. This is why you shouldn't drink at night and in the daytime.
I threw you under the bus on that one. Muscatel. There you go.
So the Redbreast Muscatel, the Iberian whiskey that is finished for 16 months in Muscatel cask, and your flavor notes that we were talking about last night, and my flavor notes, we both agreed it'd be great with the steak.
Heck yeah, it was amazing.
But yeah, and we were chatting with Ross last night, and I believe they got 2-3 cases that were levied to the state, if you will. So
yeah.
And it's pretty fair price, like $21 for a shot, as much as
we gotta talk to Will again.
Yeah,
it'll be a lot of fun. He's a good guy.
Yeah, it's leprechaun season, so we need to stop drinking these German beers and go back to Irish beers and whiskey.
Yeah.
Boulder City got a little shout out this week with being on the cover of the LV Weekly, and ironically, I think we're going to run out there tomorrow. Check out the Skinny Bar with Tony from Bogies and a couple other people.
Okay.
I always like to stop at the Backstop. You've been to the Backstop. We like the Backstop.
Yeah.
It's a bar that's 100 years old, right?
What was the shot we had there? It was like a pickle vodka or something like that?
Yeah, it was an infused pickle vodka. I think they did a pickle and they did banana peppers.
Oh, the banana peppers was good.
Yeah, so I don't know if they do that currently, but a bar that was basically open when they were building the dam, so basically 100 years old. It's cash only, and the back bar was, I forget the history of that, but it is a dive bar, but you can play darts in there, you can play shuffleboard, they have a little stage, and it's fun.
Is there a bar that you
and it's valuable.
Like to go to that's not a dive bar?
I just like bars with character.
Well, these $1 million bars on the strip all have character.
Not the character I like. It's kind of like...
So, like not Chandelier and Cosmo or anything like that?
I mean, that has its own, I guess I like character at reasonable prices.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, that's.
Is it? I mean, if you and I have both been to Bavette's, and Dennis is retired from there now, but all the other guys can make it. But I know that they make a really great whiskey sour, but I don't need to go have a $25 whiskey sour every day.
Isn't that the one where they shake it with the egg whites and they kind of has it like foam up over the top of the glass?
Yep. They wet shake it, then they wet shake it, then they dry shake it. So there's a little more process and nuance to making the drink and building the drink.
We should have
it's fantastic.
We should start a series where we make cocktails. Would it be fun?
I've thought about that.
Well, I mean, just like a 10-minute video of Chris and I making.
Have you or I ever bartended before?
I don't consider myself like a flared bartender or like a mixologist. Or I just consider myself, like a fuck you, get out of my face. Here's your beer.
Yeah, and there it is, folks. Go see him in B Gates every.
No, please don't.
But we're gonna go hit Boulder City up. And then speaking of kind of referencing bartending and all that, numbers for Harry Reid came out this last week for visitation. I guess not visitation. This isn't people that landed and got off. This was just people that passed through Harry Reid.
Sure.
In the whole of 2025. Do you know that number?
No.
No. Take a guess.
It's usually around 50 million.
55 million.
55 million.
55 million bodies walked those hallways between Terminal 1 and Terminal 3 last year. So now visitation to the actual city was only like 38 or 39.
Yeah.
But of course, we live in the bigger, better economy, so everything has to be.
Well, it is a big building. Like I when I first started there, I walked the whole thing, backtracking and all, and it was over 4 miles.
Yeah.
4 miles.
Yeah, I mean it's a good sized airport, and
yeah.
then when you drive the length of it, when you leave Las Vegas Boulevard and drive down Sunset, and think subsequently when you go east of there, or north of there, excuse me, and you're still driving those intersections, the Maryland, the Eastern, so forth. It's like that is all, airport land. And I think we've said this in the podcast before. If that airport ever moved from where it's currently situated and just to a different place or whatever, they said that land alone would be worth over $12 billion.
Wow.
$12 billion. I mean, it sits on a fair parcel of land. Speaking of land and counties and, Clark County Aviation and this and that, I had my first visit to the Clark County Commissioners meeting.
Wow.
Last week.
How was that? Did you feel official?
I felt like it was, we've seen it in movies and stuff like that, and on TVs and excerpts and all that. It was learning. They did some recognition for various individuals in town for Black History Month, but we were there with the ongoing negotiations of our contract at the airport between the DBEs and the culinary. So I got to sit in and kind of watch the process. And they pitched under the, kind of housing act or like whatever, like to be able to afford housing in this town. And like, we shouldn't be second class citizens, and the disparity of like what they're offering and for what the contract is and what other similar positions, be it on the Strip or Fremont Street or even the HMS hosts are people such as you are receiving a higher wage than the DBEs, the outlets within the airport. So the whole process was interesting. And I mean, I'll tell you what, like it's down there on Grand Central Parkway. You're not messing around at a county building. There's a lot of security down there too.
Yeah. You know that pyramid? You know what that is? It's their commissary.
Is it really?
Yeah, I used to have a friend that worked down there. And I was like, what the heck is that? And he's like, that's where we have lunch.
Gotcha.
And there's also the Frank Gehry building down there.
Oh, yeah.
Which is very cool.
Yeah, and he passed recently too,
Yeah.
like the last couple months.
Yep.
Great architect and engineer. Continuing numbers, California population seems to be declining, and they're talking about various things, and this is kind of right into your wheelhouse of the K economy.
My Darren's hot takes that somebody online's going to tell me I'm stupid for.
But as a talk of possibly passing a billionaire tax and people of wealth
Yeah.
looking at other places to live in not only this country but abroad, and they're saying that Zuckerberg, Meta, Facebook, is looking at moving to Florida, which is
Yeah.
kind of insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
Well, they do it for the taxes.
Well, of course. I mean,
And I've done that. I've had this rant already about like the In-N-Out, the owner of In-N-Out moving to wherever she moved, Tennessee or something like that, or Alabama,
yeah.
Georgia. I don't remember where, but and I think our buddy Scott Galloway, we're going to be talking about in a minute here. He said it, or one of the guys on one of his podcasts said that these people use the same infrastructure that we pay for, that we the taxpayer pay for to make all their money. So they should be paying more.
Right.
Because they can't just use the infrastructure that we've all paid for, make themselves billionaires, and then say, oh, I don't want to pay taxes, I'm moving to a state where, well, they can, it's a free country, and that's fine. But I think personally, I think that's the way it should be, but that's my take. But I know here in Nevada we're going to be seeing an uptick because there's talking about like a tax on residents too, or something like that.
Oh, really?
Homes, yeah. So like I think we're going to see an uptick of people moving here.
Well, so kind of going back to the county commission comments from a couple minutes ago, like one of the representatives who's owner of the Jamba Juices in the airport, he spoke on behalf of the DBs, made his simple statement.
Yeah.
And we were outside, and like the local media news outlets were there, and Ted Papa George, who is the treasurer or president of the union, the culinary, was outside speaking, and they made note of what he drove away in, and he drove in a Tesla truck. Now he has like 3 units in the airport, and I'm like, they're like, look, they want to claim, oh, we're starving or we can't afford it, and I get both sides of it, but at the same time too, you are a business owner, and how you want to spend your wage, your income, your livelihood. I mean, they were kind of like, oh, well, he drove away in a Tesla truck. I'm like, I don't care.
Do whatever you want, but like I'm saying though, you build your wealth on the backs of others. It's not like one man. Mark Zuckerberg did not make Facebook by himself, and he did not become one of the richest men in the world by himself. He used infrastructure. He used education, like colleges. People that have been educated with tax dollars. All these things. So, give back. That's all I'm saying,
Yeah.
I think, like you could compare nowadays to the robber barons at the turn of the century. Those guys were building, like libraries and colleges and.
Well, that was Carnegie at the end, right? Because he wanted to go through the pearly gates and not be like beholden to.
Yeah. And so you don't see these guys investing as much into, the places that they got rich on.
Sure. Yeah.
They do build bunkers in like Hawaii and New Zealand and stuff like that for the end of the world.
And I know it's ongoing because we're going to talk about it in a minute too. But like I mean, we're living in a society now where we might have the world's first ever trillionaire.
Yeah.
Which is just insane to think about.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. I mean, I can fathom numbers, but I was just like, how could you even spin that?
You can't.
You can't. I mean,
There's no way.
There's no way. So. I mean, I hope that whenever Elon Musk goes out to dinner, that he tips at least $1,000 whenever he sits. If he gets a bottle of water, he tips $1,000. You know,
Yeah.
so just to realize, like, you know, I mean, yeah, is he a smart dude? I would imagine, you know, but like, you know, at some point too, you like, you know, you've got the cheat code on life, and at least, you know, make that person's day. You know, if you're walking through the terminal, or if you're walking through the casino, or whatever you're doing your day in and day and out, you know, like you can fundamentally change them and like just project into the world,
Yeah.
you know, graciousness, you know.
Well, you would hope, but unfortunately.
And I get the flip side of it too, because I'm sure there's some people like, you know, you buy a bottle of water and you give them $1,000 and say keep the rest, thank you very much, and there's like, well, why wasn't it 2,000? You know, I mean, so I get it, but you know.
Hey, you know what? I'm a live and let live kind of guy. I see, you know, gaps in, you know, like there's no reason that there should be people living on the street when there's somebody living like that. You know what I'm saying? There's
Yeah.
plenty to go around for everybody. That's all I'm saying.
Gotcha.
You know, that's all I'm saying.
We're on the 26th, 25th. What are we on? The 25th of February, and so a couple days away from March, and the pools will start opening again. So the Palms did announce for locals that they will be offering free cabanas again this season.
Woo!
So
How long will that last?
I mean, you know, obviously, like RSVP, they're going to do it through the month of March, excluding that first weekend of March Madness, and then they'll be doing it again on like the quote unquote the slower days, so like the Monday through Thursdays throughout summertime. So, you know, it seems like the Yamaha tribe or whatever it is that operates the Palms now.
Yamava. Like
Yeah.
I was thinking, like you want to do a your mother joke.
Yeah,
Your mother's so fat.
yeah. But out of California, and that's kind of become their gold standard property for all their California-based gamblers. So that's appreciative. It's a nice pool,
Yeah.
you know.
I still like the shark.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, at the bar there.
Yeah.
God, I haven't seen
It's
that in a
cool,
long
man.
time. Then what, like crazy little world we live in. Our good friends south of the border, Puerto Vallarta this week, went a little cuckoo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts, man.
Cartel land.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, here's another Darren hot take. So like my thing, you know, because we're, you know, I had to deal with prostitution and like pimps and stuff like that at McMullen's. Just legalize all that crap, all the drugs, take the money away from the cartels and the pimps and stuff like that, and empower the people, and just take the tax money and have like, you know, like recovery programs and like help programs, and then that way you don't have these cartels doing what they're doing. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty big ask, but I get it. But like, I think they were saying like 500,000 Americans have died from fentanyl overdoses.
Yeah.
In the last 10 years.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, if you just made, you know, like, lesser drugs legal, there wouldn't be no demand for fentanyl because, you know,
Sure.
you can get your fix doing whatever, opium, whatever.
Yeah.
Just let it run loose. I mean, I'm sick of these people saying, you know, like, oh, you know, let's burn the system down, but then keeping the system in place where they, you know, their holiness says, you know, it shouldn't happen.
And that, my friends, is an outtake from Kittis.
Yeah.
Hello, Kitty. Hello, Kitty Kittis. Yeah, but I was like kind of thinking, joking around, like if Americans who have historically gone down to the Mexican resorts towns, like the Cabos, the Puerto Vallartas, the Tulums of the world, if they put a like kind of a hard stop on that for a month, 6 months, or whatever, while they kind of, you know, have a power vacuum down there, I mean, could that benefit Vegas?
Well, yeah, I think so, but I think, you know, more or less, I think, you know, if you tourism declines down there, then you have the rich people that own the resorts and stuff like that. They would demand some action, you know. So
well, and historically, I mean, it's been a minute since I've been into Mexico, but I mean, I thought like they were always very good about the resorts town because they did not want to cut off the
tourism,
head of the tourism dollar,
Yeah.
you know, because I mean, there's a lot of people that flee down there and they go to those all-inclusive resorts and everything.
Yeah,
and where
that
there
was
is
great.
what we've talked about quite often on this podcast is the value proposition, you know.
Well, that, and there's like people go down there for medicine because it's so much cheaper down there.
Yeah.
Dental work, all kinds of stuff.
Which is a good segue into talking about Galloway, because I was listening to his podcast on the way over here today, and it wasn't him speaking, it was the English dude and the Australian girl, and I can't think of their names, but they were talking about medical tourism in China.
I need to drink more.
And that's the way that's called a coping mechanism. But, you know, where historically Americans have gone across the border for the pharmacies, the apothecas, or whatever, the procedures, the dental implants, or whatever you're doing. A lot of people have gone down for dental stuff in the past.
I remember there was an episode of John Oliver's show I watched, and he was talking about insurance companies would recommend Americans go to Mexico to get the drugs, and they would pay them. Did you start it?
Yep, we're starting it. Hiccupy dickupy dick if you do.
So for those that we had a technical difficulty. My phone apparently has 100 gigabytes of mail in it. I don't know why. Ran out of storage on my phone, which is not something that's ever happened to me. But
And
I
we did
guess-
not want to deny you the last 10 minutes.
yeah.
I mean,
Imagine
we are
10 more minutes of Darren's hot takes. He missed some good stuff.
as we talked about the State of the Union that we didn't talk about. We are for the people. We are the people.
That's
the
right.
people. The people. The people.
We needed to bring you a little bit more. So
Yes.
we left off at Scott Galloway. We were going to talk about his unsubscribe and resist.
Yes. Which I'm seeing more and more in my social media feed of other of our colleagues and friends talking about, of the services, of these streaming services, these things that we, that to kind of strike a nerve in the mega rich if you unsubscribe from these services that you don't necessarily use.
He talks about like if you just take 1 to 2% off of their books, they're going to notice. So, hey, do what you got to do. I don't subscribe. I think I subscribe to Amazon because of Prime.
Yeah.
But I think that's the only.
Which is, I
I do Apple because of the
shrinking.
Yeah, the drinking, yes.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna scale Apple back because it's like $37 a month now, and now I don't have
What is?
$37 a month for their Apple Plus.
Damn.
But that includes workouts because you can tell I work out all the time. News. It also includes arcade. It includes Apple TV and Apple Music and storage.
I mean,
All those services.
I subscribe to too much. I mean, like, because I'll look at my statement, I'm like, do I use that? But making Padme with bigger tits is a thing.
I got rid of Disney when they canceled Jimmy Kimmel. For that moment, I got rid of them. I was like, you know what? If you're gonna play games like this, like freedom of speech is something that I take very seriously, and some people in the comments do as well.
Yes.
Literally. But yeah, I canceled that. But I did end up picking it back up because they offered me a deal. It was $5 a month for 1 year. So it's only going to cost me $60. And then as soon as that's up, I'm going to cancel it.
The sad thing is we just did the last 10 minutes, 12 minutes ago, and some of what we said was just like improvisational gold, and I'm trying to recite that in my mind. But as we record and re-edit, we talked about cereal. That wasn't on the board.
Cereal theft.
That wasn't on the board, but we're talking about...
Tell me all about cereal theft, Chris.
Yes. No. Let's talk about State of the Union, because we both didn't watch it. I watched like 3 minute kind of overview.
I heard it was the longest one in history, 108 minutes.
Was it really? See, I didn't even know that.
When I think that I'm full of hot air and full of shit, all I do is have to turn on the president.
It was I guess a long one, and I don't, again, I think I commented on the previous outtake that we're all grown-ups, we're all adults. I mean, and for half the chamber to not even stand up and applaud when, the USA men's
hockey
came in. I mean, come on. These are young guys. Yeah, they're professional athletes, they're multimillionaires.
You got to remember though, so like just a hot take here. Trump said, if I invite the men to the thing, he said, what did he say? He said, I might have to invite the women too.
Yeah.
Like as a joke, and this is going into our last topic, but USA, the Olympics, it doesn't matter if you're a man or woman, you win gold. That's all that really matters.
Yeah.
And so they should be equal. I get it. Professional sports, different game altogether, money, viewership, whatever. Men are going to beat them. But when it comes to the Olympics, it doesn't matter your gender. If you're a man or a woman, you win gold for the United States of America. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, first time since 1980 for the men.
So, I understand them not standing because, half the population of the fucking country is women.
Yes.
So,
And I was saying, I got up early and went up to Wahoo's, who had another podcaster here in town named Ken, who does Sin Bin. I think that's the name of his podcast.
Sin Bin?
Sin
It's
Bin. Hockey and soccer.
Oh, nice.
So I guess he's going to be going to a lot of World Cup games this summer.
Speaking of...
but he blasted out on social, and this is kind of a North Star for us, is he had Wahoo's as busy as I've ever seen it.
Really?
In the many years that I've gone there.
That's awesome.
And, we were commenting that, we've both worked many an event at McMullen's and many events St. Patrick's Day or other games, or
like 24 hours of madness, like the whole day.
EPL games. And so the energy was raw.
AFL.
Yeah,
NRL.
yeah, yeah. The energy was raw. It was palpable. It was fun. Obviously, the result was what, as a person of American
Speaking of
passport holders, it was exciting.
drinkers, the biggest drinkers in the world, New South Wales.
Is it really?
I mean, I don't know if it's like true, but like after my experiences of doing Six Nations
Yeah.
or State of Origin,
Okay.
oh my God, those guys could drink. Anyway,
But
continue.
congratulations, men and women's hockey. Congratulations, USA. We were second in medal count overall.
Norway.
Norway #1. So I'm going to channel my inner Swedish chef and say, "Gratulerer Norge." Gratulerer Norge, which is congratulations, Norway.
I thought that was reindeer.
That was, yeah, reindeer for go fuck yourselves. So, we're coming at you. So.
Rudolph. Oh my God.
No, but I think it was a great Winter Olympics. Curling was obviously, I think the thing I heard most at the bar about curling was like, how do you win at this? So it's like,
We used to get killed at McMullen's for that. Remember, like they had the world, was it the World Championship or
yeah, they would do it at the Orleans
at the
next
Orleans?
door.
Yeah. Fuck, I remember
And-
we'd be at like 7 a.m. and the place would get jammed up with people wanting to.
And from our Canadian friends, I mean, we would all go out up to the patch and have a pint.
Oh, speaking of Canadian friends, I'd like to say thanks to Steve for my breakfast coming soon.
Yes.
It was a little friendly wager we made over Team USA.
He
and
messaged me
Canada.
this morning. We'll be coming in right after St. Patrick's Day now, too, for a meeting.
I'm looking forward to the breakfast, Steve.
Yes.
It's gonna be fun.
It just hits different when it's free.
Well, you put $100 in the machine. Is it really free?
Much like the snarky comments directed towards Darren. Social blast.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm 6'5". I mean, I'm just gonna reach high, and if you want to make fun of him for being low, then F yourselves. So,
Hey, just a hot take here.
hot take.
Short people rule the world, because you never ever hear a tall person saying, "Hey, Shorty, can you bend down and pick that up for me?"
That's right.
If I'm like, "Hey, Chris, can you grab that for me?" He just does it.
That's why we're calling this episode 34 "The State of Benjamin." Napoleon Benjamin. That's almost like a movie.
The sad state of Darren Benjamin. I need to drink more.
We're gonna edit this up and get it out to you. Thank you for watching, listening. More stuff coming. Sip, socialize, shine. Like, subscribe. I'm going to do an overlay with the QR code to our Facebook group. We're probably going to start the email list this year sooner than later. So when we're not out bantering, we're working.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
The hustle.
The hustle's real. Thank you. Sip, socialize, shine.
The hustle is real.
Oh, fuck, my battery died. I'm kidding.